Ladies and gentlemen, this is a safe space. Welcome to Group Therapy. Welcome to the Strompcast 251. We're here today after an unfortunate loss to Club Brugge. But before we get into that, let me introduce you to my co-host. First, we've got Chris. How you doing today, man?
Honestly, I'm doing better than I was doing yesterday. I honestly, it didn't seem real until I don't know, 20 minutes after the game, right? It finally set in. The thing is Bruges did not play that well. Let's be fucking real here. They were not that impressive in any way, shape, or form. Our manager just when they cut to him on the sideline, bro, he just doesn't look like a man who is comfortable, who is confident, part of doing the part is looking the part, right? And I'll be honest, he doesn't even look the part. When he's telling his assistant manager to go protest the penalty harder, it's he doesn't know. He's not mad himself. He's cool with it. You guys are just chilling. Insane. It is what it is. We move, boys. But some of the stuff we were saying on the last pod, I mean, it's all true. And it's all going to play out probably exactly like that. Champions League come down to the last game. And Benfica will be in first by Christmas.
Yeah, facts. And last but not least, Richard, how you doing today, man? Dressed dapper, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Showing me and Chris up.
I literally just finished work. That's why. But yeah, all I know is despair. This team is ruining my life.
Just for Sporting's funeral.
I'm gonna be coming ready for that funeral, bro. It's coming soon. It's been rough. I didn't get to watch the first half of the game. I remember coming out and there was 15
peaked,
minutes
bro.
in.
It peaked.
That was the peak. I came out. It was 50 minutes. My dad was watching on TV there, and I was like, "Holy shit, they're winning!"
Yeah, part of the first half wasn't even that bad, but
yeah,
that was it. Right?
I came out and I was like, "Holy crap! They're winning!" And he goes, "Yeah, they scored 3 minutes in." I said, "Well, this won't last long." And then I went and I flicked on the game on my TV while I was doing some work from home, and they scored 5 minutes later. And I was like, "Yep, I called that, man. I'm calling."
So it's your fault. It's not
me
and
Americo Navs are calling everything for this team in the worst possible way the last couple weeks. It's painful. It's like when we were watching Portugal in the Euros, and I'm like, Ronaldo's gonna miss this penalty kick, and then a minute and a half later, he misses the penalty kick. It's that kind. It's I'm calling everything in the worst way. It's not even funny. It just hurts. I wish I was wrong. But we move. We're here. We're live. We got a lot to talk about, don't we? About what the heck the next steps, if there are any. Is there any way back at this point?
Yeah. And Danny isn't here today, but make sure you follow him here. Make sure you follow myself there as well. Most importantly, make sure you follow all things up on all social media and podcast platforms. Without further ado, let's get straight into the game then. Unfortunately, a 2-1 loss even, which Club Brugge looked like they won the World Cup with their celebrations. I mean, I definitely am salty still, but they took it to another level. Those guys were partying like it was the last game they ever played. But anyway,
this was the most Tugal game I think I've ever witnessed. By the way, that didn't take place in Portugal. If that makes any sense.
Facts. In goal, we've got Franco Israel, the back three, considering of Mateus Reis, Diamonde, and unfortunately Eduardo Quaresma, who is lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
What a brutal headbutt that was. Maxi Arujo, Jenny Katamo, Hulman, Joel Shimoy, Giovanni Kenda, Trincao, and Gyökeres. Off the bench, Jeremiah St. Just, Ricardo Esgaio, and Conrad Harder.
He only used 3 out of his 5 subs, man.
And one of them was due to injury as well. One of them.
And to be fair, it's not Esgaio's fault for the goal, but he comes in almost immediately before the second goal.
Yeah.
Well, you say it's not his fault. It was his man who scored.
Yes.
Yeah, it was his guy.
You could say St. Just is keeping him on more so, but yeah, that line is just shambles. And then he's obviously not fast enough to catch up. So.
It's 0, yeah. I'm just surprised St. made it to the end of the game.
I actually thought that we flashed some decent stuff at various moments in the first half. I mean, I think that like we didn't really get the benefit of the doubt by a single controversial officiating decision, I would say, which could have gone a long way to help, especially if they went down to 10. We get a penalty, we go up 2-0, I think, or would it have been 2-1? I don't even remember if it was before or after. I think it was after, actually. So retaking the lead before half. I mean, it's just we didn't get the benefit of the doubt, and it is what it is. But it feels like very amateurish from, in theory, one of the better referees in the competition, one of the more prestiged
someone who's
referees.
supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is horrible. And the VAR, bro, I don't know what on earth he's looking at on the penalty kick, but that's not why we lost. Bruges were just like, I don't know. I feel like in the second half, it was just so passive. No ideas, no like energy, like no drive, just like can't play out at all.
They barely. I felt like they were
the
barely.
amount of times when it would just be like a clearance, just like to Bruges, just like reset, and then it's just Bruges coming right back. It's just, it provided like those moments provided like seconds of respite. You know, it's like we're defending, okay, well, this will clear it, and then they'll be back.
It kills like 10 in the grand scheme of things.
It's like 10 seconds,
like 10, 15 seconds.
And it's not like Bruges, like obviously you could tell Bruges was like developing confidence like as it went on, because I don't even think they really fully believed. But yeah, I mean, the loss seemed inevitable. I wasn't quite sure how they were going to score, but they definitely, I just felt like they were going to score. With plenty of time to respond. I mean, if we're being honest, it's not like it was a 93rd minute goal. It was an 83rd minute goal. I mean, they
still had time.
There's still 10 minutes to make an adjustment, throw some attackers forward, and we pretty much created one more chance the whole time. I mean,
that was it.
Just wasn't good enough. And you know, coming off of what has happened in the 34 games before this, I mean, it's just very clear that I don't think João Pereira is going to win the locker room back.
This team is lost right now.
They're lost. It's just complete turmoil. Gyökeres is going to want to leave. I've seen a report. I don't know how credible it is that he's already actually asked out. I mean, I don't need to see that report to know that it's true. That's right.
Possible, yeah.
At a certain point, your captain might even abandon ship, because Humeland is just like,
he's
pissed, bro. You could tell that he is infuriated. With the state of things, with his teammates, with himself. And how many times is he gonna give the same speech in the locker room before he's just like, "Fuck this! This is fucking."
Yeah, like I'm done. I've had enough.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. They're just gonna start losing buy-in from guys. It's already started. Not good. It's incredible. Like it seems like he's like, our manager João Pereira has unraveled 4 years of work in about 2 weeks. I mean, it's almost impressive, quite frankly. Like, you would think it would take him a little bit more time to destroy it. You would think he would sneak in a win or two there every now and again.
It's like watching a cart. It's like watching.
Nah, dude, he literally can't do anything. He just has them not prepared to play. The fucking being back to the manager who can't talk. He's an iPad manager, bro. He's like the iPad kid version of a manager.
That iPad's got more fucking.
You're just watching on a fucking iPad, bro. Like, go watch on the iPad at your house, man. Like, we don't need you.
Go home if you're gonna watch.
Why are you even here? What are you contributing? It's crazy.
Why are you here? This is the most.
What's his name? Dago Teixeira, just out of his depth completely. You know, should be managing in Campeonato de Portugal. Here he is in the Champions League, just so out of his depth.
Out of time.
What a fail. What a fail. Like Sam said originally, like, we saw the arguments in favor, like why it could work, why he would do this. It didn't work. And I think it's time to, it really is past due to admit that mistake. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Richard, what were your thoughts on this game?
It sucked. That's my thoughts. Yeah, just like a lot
I
of.
still think Franco Israel could have done better on the second goal. I don't think he cuts
Yes.
the angle as well as he could have, but it's not his fault, you know.
He gives too much space on the right hand side. It's almost like he moves so far to the left,
and his foot is slow. I feel like he's slow to stick
Yeah.
his foot out as well.
Well, I feel there's one moment in this game that I feel encapsulates how the last 2 weeks in Sporting have gone, and it's the freeze frame of Franco Israel getting just annihilated in the face with the ball. I'm like, that is what this feels like the last 2 weeks watching this team. You're just getting smacked upside the head with the ball.
How many injuries did I know? A lot of them didn't come off, but like Israel twisted his ankle, gets a ball in the face. Ignacio is pulled from the game because he injured himself in training.
Yeah,
he got guys like Giovanni Kenda,
Quaresma's brain might have turned.
I mean, I don't. Again, we have VAR. Like, how is that not a red card?
He elbows him in the head
after Quaresma's won the ball.
Like it's a UFC fight.
I thought it was a red card in real time. And then the replays only convinced me further that my initial instinct was right.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's at least a yellow, but probably a red. And then you see the replay. You see this
so late. I mean, the ball's gone for a whole second.
He is hitting him with an elbow to the jaw and face.
Yeah,
like, bro.
Yeah, just that. And then he gets a yellow and he's like incensed that he's been booked. It's like, bro, you shouldn't even be on the field.
Bro, you have no business.
And then he comes back on before he's given permission and isn't booked again. I mean, this man should have got 2 red cards. And he should have
got at least a second yellow then for being a shithead and coming on before he was allowed.
and Anthony Taylor just lets it slide, bro. Crazy. Sure, it's harsh, but like,
brutal.
Dude, how many breaks can one man get in like a 2-minute?
That is the definition of like a reckless tackle, which is a red card.
Yeah.
That is reckless.
It's reckless.
And it's dangerous. And it's violent.
Dangerous. Like there's no place in the game for that type of
talent. He's probably out for at least a week or 2 because he probably has a concussion.
Oh, minimum.
Yeah.
Concussion protocol is like 2 weeks.
It's at least 2 weeks.
So I mean,
depending on
he might have like a whiplash injury in the neck as well.
Depending on like if he has concussion and the severity of that concussion, that's minimum 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's probably 2 weeks, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Like it's probably 2 weeks at minimum with the concussion. Like it's brutal. They just didn't look up for it this game. They looked lost. They looked confused. They looked like they had no direction. Now,
who else got hurt? Kenda got hurt too.
Kenda was hurt.
Yeah.
And
Ignacio got
hurt in warm-up.
Has anyone seen an update on that? Like, is it like
he didn't train the day after the recovery? So
yeah, I feel like he's out for 2 weeks. Well.
This team is slow. This team's gonna be held together by like scotch tape and paper clips.
And then St. Jude's coming in with no warm-up. I was like, another one. He's another one.
I was like, this is the record.
He somehow didn't get hurt. I would have lost money on that.
He didn't get hurt.
I can't believe he didn't get hurt. But if he's asked to play more because we're so short at the back, he will.
Guarantee he'll get hurt. Next game.
He plays 2 90s in a row, dude.
Saturday.
Done for.
On Saturday. He's going to be gone in like the 60th minute.
Yeah, he's going to have to start and play 90 probably Saturday.
Yeah, because who do they have at center back
Good luck, brother. Good luck, brother. They have Diamante racing him.
What are you going to do? Yeah. It's a hope and a prayer. Like this team has... You can't help the injuries. It's not the coach's fault that there's injuries. Like he can't. That's out of any coach's control. But man, like just the game planning is.
What did you think of him giving Simoes the start?
Who else was he going to give it to?
Yeah, like, I thought Simoes actually played okay. Like he
didn't look horrible.
He played okay. I think it's kind of like when managers leave.
I feel like a lot of other things. I feel like a lot of other things were happening where you didn't notice Simoes just because there was like 80 other things going on in this game. Anything he did, I feel like would have just been overshadowed because of all the chaos.
He's like, I've worked with this player for 8 months or whatever. I feel like I know him better than other players, right? So I know what he can do. I trust what he can do. But it's like that was League of 3, man. This is the Champions.
This is like pulling me up and putting.
You know what he can do at that level, I suppose. But like, you kind of throw him to the wolves here, and
the equivalent.
He held his own, but
The equivalent to
light
this,
the world on fire.
he went from Liga 3 to Champions League. The equivalent to that would be like pulling me out and putting me in like Campeonato Portugal.
Yeah.
Like, and I haven't played in years. Like, it's just like, bro, it's just not the same. Yeah, just poor game planning, poor game management.
He's yet to produce a game plan that. I mean, it's like, oh, well, it didn't work, but it like almost worked. Like, he's yet to produce a game plan where I'm like,
he doesn't. I don't even think he has.
Like,
I don't even think he has. I don't even think he has the concept of a plan, Chris. I'll go you one further.
I mean, look at his subs. I mean, it's not a man who is exactly playing.
I know there's injuries. Use 3 substitutes. You've been allowed 5 substitutes for years now at this point, and he only made 1 because he had no choice and had to sub Quaresma out. This guy is lost. He is up shit creek without a paddle.
And like the pressure just keeps building, right? So it's like he knows.
And you know what? You know what the worst part is? This fucking jabroni, this fucking loser comes in at his press conference, and you know what he says? He goes, "Well, we can only improve from here."
I
mean, that's actually not true, bro. You can probably keep
bottoming out. That's you know what? Then improvement is then any improvement becomes much easier if you keep bottoming out. Anything better than the bottom is an improvement.
And then what if we tie Boavista? You're going to be like, it's an improved result.
It's an improvement. We didn't lose. We got a point.
I don't think anyone should be upset about this. It's actually
we got 1 point. This fucking guy, man. It is. They got to stop. They can't go on. He has to go, blood. He has to go. I'm not calling him João Pereira. He's Jabroni João from now on. That's his new nickname. Jabroni
I think
João.
he's just destroying. I think he's not only fucking himself now, but he's fucking himself in the future. Who's watching this episode and being like, we got to get this guy in here?
I think there's always room for a job. If you look at Ponce, he now manages, I think, the biggest club in China. You've got Silas making his rounds in Liga 2 and Liga 3. Who else is there? Kaiser, Saudi.
Sometimes it's as simple as it's just too much too soon.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's a manager there. But...
Even, I know people knock Amorim's experience. He still had first-team experience with Brugge, though.
True. That is true. He didn't have his papers.
Was it only like a dozen games or less than that? Yes. But he had first-team experience. João Pereira has less than that. He has 0. Like, come on. Who are you kidding yourselves? Like, God. I'm done. Sarah, you talk. I take over. I'm gonna say some stuff soon if I'm not careful. I've had enough.
Cool. I do think 2 things can be true. I think the referee's performance screwed us over massively. But I also think, like you said, that there was no game plan. The most annoying thing was how we're 2-1 down and he waits till, the 86 minutes beyond Conrad Harder. And that's it. No Edwards. Brings on his guy instead of guys like Fresneda. Why isn't the Bass playing again like this against the Belgian team who he's used to play last year? Probably knows better than anyone else in the defense. I don't know.
That just dawned on me. The Bass didn't even get minutes and he's healthy, no?
Yeah, he's fine.
Just mid, but fine.
Mateus Reis is
go to fucking jail. Go to jail right away as well. Do not pass, go and collect 200. Go right to fucking jail.
I think I've completed the same amount of crosses in 90 minutes that Mateus Reis has in his entire career. Maybe. I just don't. But I guess that one's fair enough because Inacio was due to start and Mateus Reis was on the bench originally. So I guess we'll let João Pereira off on that one. But the most annoying thing was Jenny Katamo from the second half was awful. Killed every single attack.
Unplayable, unwatchable. You could not.
He's clearly also very tired. As his Trincao stopped running from like the 60th minute onwards. Giovanni Kenda was poor. But then it's like João Pereira's like, you know what? Trincao has been running since the 70th minute. I'm not going to bring him off though. I'm not going to try and bring on someone like Edwards, someone like Harder, sooner. Anyone else? He's like, no, those guys can stay, even though they're not.
Do literally anything. Like exactly. Give a shit.
Mate, this is the most annoying thing about João Pereira is he doesn't make subs quickly. Yeah. And it was the same with Amorim for a bit as well. But the difference is Amorim could master those with results. João Pereira hasn't been doing that. And it's like, if you're Conrad Harder, and he's like, okay, you've got, 4 or 5 minutes to try and get a goal. It's like, why are you bringing me on now? Bring me on.
Bring him on 50. Bring him on before. Bring him on at 1-1. Bring him on as soon as it's 2-1. Like, what are you doing? Like, the game management is brutal.
The only time I saw João Pereira leave the bench was to shout at Giovanni Kenda, and he still kept him on for like another 20 minutes. And it's like,
make it make sense.
And yeah, just going through the team, I thought Diomande was actually very good yesterday. I thought probably the best player for us on the pitch. I thought he was very calm. I don't think any of the goals were his fault. The Sky substitution, man, everyone saw it coming. When as soon as it came on, it's like we're going to concede.
It was written in the stars.
And it was, of course, it was his man, like we mentioned earlier, Chris mentioned earlier. St. Just does play him on side, but
it's his guy.
Just watches.
Cover him.
It's not even like, this guy plays the offside trap. He just gets beaten. He just doesn't
pay attention to what's going on.
And then on the offensive side as well, he's a right footer playing left back. But again, every time we had a cross and it came to this guy, went straight to the keeper or went straight to the defender. Didn't clear the first man. And having two guys on the left-hand side, Matthias Reis and Ricardo Esgaio, who cannot cross a ball, what are you expecting? What is the plan? But
Ricardo Esgaio doesn't even make forward passes. That's the problem. Like he doesn't make a forward pass.
Dude, I love when he has the ball and he clearly doesn't know what to do.
He clearly it's like a bomb. The ball is a bomb to him.
Oh, don't know what to do. Just pass it back. Try not to lose it.
The ball is a bomb. And he wants no part of it. He just wants to get rid of it. It's like a fucking hot potato for him.
Yeah, his teammates don't play it to him. It's just
yeah, but I just think I'm looking at this team and I think fair enough, João Pereira isn't doing right, but this is still pretty much exactly the same team that Amorim had. The blame has to be on the players as well. It's not just João Pereira.
Oh yeah,
and I do think we've been incredibly unlucky, not just with injuries and stuff, but the amount of time to hit the bar. This game, the penalty we should have been given, which was outside the box, which, whatever. A clear red card on a reckless play, and then a second yellow for the same guy for entering the field without permission. I do think we were screwed over by referees, and I think we were against Santa Clara as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what did we create? The goal? That was it. I can't remember it.
3 goals in the last 4 or 5 games.
We've conceded I think 15 in the last 9. And I do think we need to have some conversations about Franco Israel, because I do like the guy, and I think one day he will be a very good goalkeeper, starting number 1. But I don't think he's here right now. There is too many times where him and Kovacevic just look out of their depth, and they do basic things wrong. Israel, I thought, was very good with his feet this game, but like we mentioned earlier, for the goal, he literally just gives Club Brugge the whole right side to finish. It's harder to miss at that point because he comes out so quickly and leaves it so far open. I just don't know. I think a main priority in the summer and the winter window is hopefully to buy a goalkeeper. But we've been saying it for the last 5 years, and we've only got Vladan Kovacevic in. Well, we've needed a goalkeeper for that long as well. So I don't know.
They swung on a goalie and missed. Happens.
Yeah.
And
then also you're buying a goalkeeper from Racal.
I thought he was gonna have to come in when Israel twisted his ankle. And
oh man, we were all like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, I agree with this statement. Conroy is worse than Israel, but I think both of them aren't.
We need better.
Yeah, they're at best they're like a 6 out of 10. I mean, I don't know.
You're 6 out of 10.
Both was a 3 out of 10 right now, and
you need to be getting 7.5, 8. You need to be getting a 7.5, 8 at least at this level.
Yeah,
they're not good enough. They're not ready. They're out of their depth.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, Justin Moyes I thought was good. I don't think he was great. I don't think he was bad, but he did his job properly, which was to create space, move. I think he ran 10 kilometers this game, made great passes, was good on the ball. Didn't do anything that you maybe a 17-year-old would do. Try and do too much in a game like this, especially for a starting debut in the Champions League game. I thought, you know what, he did. Okay, he didn't set the world on fire, but that's what you want from a centre mid. He didn't make any mistakes, really. Good on the ball. I thought he was aggressive.
For a kid who got thrown to the wolves, I thought he was fine. I think you're bang on.
Yeah. And I think he does have a future in this team. Maybe not in the João Pereira, hopefully, but
maybe not in the João Pereira era, but
Morita and Bragança are going to be out both for 3 weeks. Pedro Gonçalves is not going to be back till January, so it's got to be him, unless you put Gonzalo Inacio, but now he's got injured. Unless you put an Esgaio or a Fresneda or the Bast or a Quaresma or St. Just. Anyways, it has to be Simoes at this point. I can't think of anyone
call up some other kid from the juniors.
I know there's like Enrique Ariol as well, play the same position. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Maybe it could be a winger. I don't know. But yeah, I think we've said it before. If João Pereira had any respect, and if Rodrigo Fernandes had any respect for the club, one would resign, or one would fire João Pereira. But from what we've seen in interviews from both manager and president, looks like we're sticking with João Pereira until something drastic happens, which could either be against Boavista. We play Benfica in 2 weeks, which I'm really not looking forward to.
You know what's going to be when something drastic happens when fucking Ultras go crazy Alcochete 2.0 style. Some idiot wants to flare it harder this week.
Yeah,
because our fan base is nuts. It's just going to take another small subset of fans to go fucking ballistic again. It's coming. They need to stop that shit before it builds up because they're working towards some crazy shit happening again. And then what are you going to do?
The thing is, right, obviously I don't condone throwing stuff at players.
No, I don't either. I think it's stupid, but there's enough stupid people to do something stupid again like they did in 2018, and then what's going to happen?
But I just think João Pereira and Rodrigo Fernandes said, Rodrigo Fernandes said, when the club is managed by the outside, I won't be here, basically. I won't let outside dictate what performance I do. So he's forcing the sporting fans to do something. Obviously, I'm not condoning a flare or attack or anything, but what you've just blatantly said, we're ignoring the fans, by the way. So what are the fans supposed to do?
You can see that there's a toxic atmosphere at the club. You can see that obviously this isn't the right manager for this period of time and that he's out of his depth. If you want to avoid things boiling over and getting hostile, you need to do something and make a choice quickly. Like this can't be happening. This is unacceptable behavior, and it's stupid, I agree, but this is only going to escalate. That's my fear. This is only going to get worse.
The reason that flare was thrown isn't because, I want to hurt one of the players. It was just, I want to voice my displeasure, and I want the team to know about it. Because I mentioned earlier, the players are not innocent in this. It's not, all João Pereira, it's all Fernandes. This is the same team that went and beat Man City 4-1 and went and beat Porto 2-0 and beat Lille 2-0. And it seems like a lot of them are, deliberately downing tools, but you're telling me that Gyökeres hasn't scored in open play for what? 5 games? Franco Israel's conceded 15 in 9, sorry. Giovanni Kender isn't playing as good. I know he's only young, but hasn't been playing at the level he has, nor is Trincao, nor is Jenny. The whole team. I don't think there's been one player that I've been like, he's really improved under João Pereira, or he's at the same level.
They've all looked worse.
Yeah. But this stuff is going to happen as long as João Pereira and Fernandes continue to ignore.
They're at the Alvalade this week too, right? Like if they don't get a result at the Alvalade, it's going to get ugly, I think. That's my fear.
And people are saying like, there's better ways to protest. You can bring in like banners and stuff. But they take, I'm pretty sure they don't allow banners anymore. They have the corporate tifos and everything like that. You barely see
people smuggle some in here and there, and then they get a fine for it.
Yeah. But I think a lot of that is to blame with Fernandes coming in and saying, the club won't be managed by the outside, do what's best for the club. And it's like, we've lost 4 games in a row. We're practically out of the title race or level on points with Benfica.
We're going to be out of the title race by New Year's, I fear.
Probably by next game week. If we don't beat Boavista, then we're out. 100%.
They're the only reason they're not tied with Porto now is because Porto fucked up last week. Simple as that. Porto bought them another week at the top. That's literally it. It was nothing this team did.
But yeah, there's not much to say about this game. It's becoming the same conversation we've had for the last 4 podcasts and we see on social media, the same conversation, the same topics.
We're just running in circles.
João Pereira has to go. And 88% of 581 people.
Overwhelming. The 11.5 has got to be like Benfica and Porto fans.
Or like misclicks or something.
Or like, I misclicked. I clicked too soon.
But I just don't know. I just think someone has to do something. João Pereira either has to resign, but he said, I've got a contract till 2027. I'll always be the first to show my face when Sporting lose. It's like, well, stop that by resigning and then getting
be the first to show your face off the fucking bench when something happens during a game. Then, instead of burying your face in an iPad like a 2-year-old, come on.
I just don't know. And then I think questions got to be asked of the hierarchy. I think it was Ricardo de Leal said, why is Hugo Viana still in charge and still sporting director if we know he's going to Man City? Why is
he making choices, the calling shots?
Why is the new structure not making any decisions? Why is Verandas not making a decision that, okay, sack João Pereira, get rid of João Pereira, and bring in someone who has experience and can actually do things and just anything else? Because let's go through a timeline. If he doesn't sack João Pereira by January, Gyökeres goes, maybe Hjulmand goes. You've got guys maybe like Diamonde goes
out of Champions League. Probably.
There's no fall down into Europa League this year, so it's literally if you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
Players leave. We get some money for them, sure, but is anyone good of value want to come in to play under João Pereira, who's lost his last, let's say, 6 games at this point, maybe 7 games at this point? It is going to get worse, and there is no like, oh, you just have to give him time, or it'll get better in January, being reinforcements, because we said it. Players are going to leave in January if things don't improve.
And what reinforcements are realistically going to come in if the club's in shambles?
And people like saying, "Oh, these players have got release clauses." That's the one I've seen the most. Oh, they have to match the release clause. Why?
No,
Gyökeres can easily force a move out, especially.
When have we ever got the release clause? We've got the release clause twice.
But even still, Gyökeres has apparently an agreement to leave in the summer for 70 million, but he can force his way out by saying, "Look, I'm not going to play under João Pereira if we keep losing," especially when he's got teams like Arsenal, Barcelona.
He's got big teams after him.
These teams are actually performing well in Europe and the league and things like that. And you've got Hjulmand, who can maybe join, I don't know, Manchester United with Amorim, or can go to another club like that. Maybe he goes to Arsenal. You've got Diamonde. You've got other guys like Giovanni Kenda. These guys that, I'm sure the other teams are looking at Sporting right now saying, look at all these players who are now underperforming.
We're pissed off, probably. We could probably shave a few million off their price. Yeah.
And then it's going to be, too late then if you start João Pereira after January, because all the players will leave. And if they won't leave in January, guess what? They're going to leave in the summer regardless. And then we have more chance of keeping these players in the summer if we do well. I'm not saying
then you go from you were supposed to be a title contending team this season to suddenly you're in like a full-fledged rebuild because the whole squad's cooked.
Exactly.
In under a year. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And like I said, if you keep him to the summer, then Gyökeres does leave for under 100 million because that's apparently the agreement he's got.
Yeah.
And then it gives him even more leverage to be like, look, I'm not staying under João Pereira. I'm not even staying under a new coach because Verandas got it wrong the first time. So why would I stay and watch him to get it again the second time? Even if it is someone like Abel or Sergio Conceição or, I don't know, Graham Potter or
you could bring Jose Mourinho in, and I think he would still say I'm leaving. Like, I don't think it would matter. I think he would say, fuck this club because it's so disorganized and there's so much indecision. It's clear it's not working. It hasn't worked. They need to move on. They are in a full-on free fall at this point, and they need to do damage control before everything is lost and you're playing for nothing.
The last time we lost 4 games in a row, 2012. Ricardo Sapinto. I think Danny put in the chat that João Simões was like 6 and Giovanni Kenda was like 7 when this happened.
Wow.
Or something like that.
I was like,
we're not supposed to be at that era of Sporting. Like, that era of Sporting is supposed to be a long forgotten memory of when the club was in shambles. So it's like, if we're matching records from that season, it's bad.
Yeah, it's
I mean, and to be fair, Arsenal is a bit better than Videoton, but still, I mean, it's
only a bit better.
I haven't seen their team this year, Videoton, so maybe.
They've renamed. They're not Videoton anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't heard.
What are they now? What is this?
So Videoton, I was so bored yesterday.
Power FC.
I went on Wikipedia and found out the reason they were called Videoton was because they were bought out by like some agency or like some company that was called Videoton. So that's why they were called Videoton. And then they took investment away and then they changed their name or something. I can't remember. But yeah.
What happened to the game? What happened to the game I love? Utter woke nonsense.
Yeah, considering the only time João Pereira has won a game was against a team in Liga 3 is concerning. That is the worst part of it.
They're again, we have to reiterate, they're barely a Liga 3 team. They only just got promoted to Liga 3.
Exactly. Yeah.
Barely a Liga 3 team.
Like you said, you can make the case for Arsenal. Of course, no one likes losing 5-1, but Arsenal, of course, very good. But then Santa Clara, and not just losing, the performances we've had in all of those games as well.
Bad. Objectively bad.
The first 20 minutes of Club Brugge, I was like, we're back. We're playing so well. We were playing very well. We had a few chances. Gyökeres looked like his old self.
It looked like we were getting him behind very easily.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 passes, we're in the final third, and then 1 through ball, we're in behind. Like, I mean, that's what led to the goal.
And the back three was playing well.
You said the first 20 minutes you were like, we're so back. No, for me it was the next 70 minutes where I was like, we're so fucking back, baby.
It was like that meme where it's like, we're so back, and it's like, we're not back. We're so back. We're not back.
It's like we're so back. It's so fucking over. We're so fucking back. It's over again.
Like, it was like, we're so back. Concede. We're so over. Get the penalty. We're so back.
Doesn't get a penalty. Oh, it's over.
Which, by the way, I mean, what are they looking at on that? I mean, it
still baffles me.
When I watched the replay, my first thought is, "Oh shit! Does he actually get his foot on the ball first?" Not is he in the box, because he's clearly in the box on the line. I don't even. I mean, maybe, dude. Sometimes, like, they do this in my league where it's like, if a foul is like kind of soft, but it's on the edge of the box, maybe in the box a little bit, they'll just be like, "Oh, it's outside the box." It's like
the ball's in the box and Gyökeres is in the box,
and his leg is in the box. Like what image could you have looked at to be like, I gotta overturn the call on the field?
They must have had like that.
Is it because he's like he kind of? Well, it's like, and if you think that it's not a foul, it's like you can just
reverse it.
You can just reverse it. I mean, so dude, I don't know, man. It's unacceptable at this competition. I mean, the Champions League is famous for having some ridiculous VAR incidents. Not good enough.
It's got to be better.
I truly don't. I truly. I have been working all day, like literally the whole day, so I don't know. Has UEFA? Do they usually come out and protect or say like their refs got it wrong ever?
No.
Yeah, I feel like they don't. So I'm not really expecting them in this situation. But like, goddamn, bro. Even the NBA has like the last 2 minutes report, right? Like, and they'll
be like, "Hey, we made this call.
And they'll sometimes admit that the refs fucked up. But like,
they will come out and say, "Hey, we made this call, and it should have actually been this call." This one's on us. Because there's actual fucking accountability in basketball. Crazy.
I don't expect them to ever correct this. It's just Bruges Sporting, doesn't matter. Anthony Taylor probably won't face any repercussions, and the show will just go on. But I mean, 2 red card incidents to the same player and a pen overturned that definitely shouldn't have been. Not good. And this is what really convinced me that João Pereira and Thiago Teixeira just
are out of their depth.
Because like the way they were like, dude, there's nothing worse than like when João Pereira's like, he's always so confused looking. And
he looks like he's trying. You know what he looks like? He looks like he smells something. He's trying to figure out where the smell's coming.
From. Part of doing the job is looking the part, and he just doesn't look the part, man. And like when he's telling Thiago Teixeira to go protest, it's like, oh my God.
Like, are you dumb?
Like a real. I feel like I almost like convinced myself like Sergio Conceição would not have allowed that penalty to be overturned.
Yeah,
because he would have been like
he would have been
in between where the 2 technical areas are, just badgering the 4th official and the referee just relentlessly, and would have
got sent off. But I think I prefer that.
But he would have probably also got a pay. But he also probably would still at least got the penalty call in the process.
And it's like putting pressure on the refs is a real thing. Yeah, and you shouldn't have to put pressure on the refs to get the right call. But like, Dude,
Sometimes
that's part
you
of your
gotta
job.
say,
It's part of your
look,
job, and you're not doing it. You're
you
simply
gotta
not doing it.
fight. You gotta fight and be a bit of a pest sometimes.
And
You
apparently,
just
your
have to stop
manager
that.
doesn't even understand his responsibility to be doing that. So it's like, why is he the manager?
Why is he
Why
here?
is his name on the sheet? You know, he might have his
Like, what does he
papers,
do?
but he's not. I don't
He
think
doesn't
he's a
have his
serious
papers though. He has
Wait,
no papers.
He has more papers than João does.
Yeah. Like,
So I don't even know if he's
what are you
actually a real
doing?
manager. I just think he's a realer manager than João.
Fraud. Both of them fucking fraudulent. Like, what
Has
are you?
anyone
If
also
you're not gonna-
seen Luis Neto? Where is he?
Gone.
Yeah,
Actually, he was
I
never
feel like
here,
I haven't
actually.
seen Luis Neto since the introductory press conference.
Yeah.
I feel like
since he left and retired. I've not seen him since.
I feel like
there's too many other pressing questions for anyone to ever ask about that. Because it's not important enough, honestly.
That's like in the top 10 list. That's like number 9 on the big.
But it is
right
interesting.
Now. Where's Luis Neto?
What even is his role? Assistant manager, or in his
like we're not at that point yet.
Or is he like? Or is he like team manager, like the former Betu role? You know.
I think he's just like a coach. I mean, that's just what he is.
I think he's just a chill guy. He's I don't know, but yeah, there's too many other things to worry about before we get to, hey, where's Luis Neto? Like that's that's way down on my list of priorities and concerns and accusations right now.
Yeah, Gyökeres come out with a statement after the flare was thrown saying, "We were the ones who stayed there. I wanted to thank them for coming and supporting us. It's sad that they throw one of these things at us when we try to win all the games. We enter the field. That's what we want to do. It's not a fun period for us. And I understand it's difficult for them, but it will be easy if we turn it around together." So, not looking promising for Victor Gyökeres in staying in January.
It's not looking good, bruv.
But at the same time, you know, it is what it is, I think, for that point. I did see someone tweet something yesterday. It was like, oh, there should be a transfer window for managers. So, like, Ruben Amorim couldn't leave.
Oh, I saw that. I've seen
it's
that.
It's like, well, we took him from Brugge during the season. So
during mid-season.
So we wouldn't have been able to get him regardless.
I never asked you, who's your man of the match, Sam?
Oh, Anthony Taylor.
My man of the match is anybody who didn't have to watch this match. You're my man of the match. If you didn't watch this game, you're my man of the match.
But I will say, to ask you guys a question, because we had this question probably about a month ago when Amorim first left, before João Pereira was actually announced.
Okay.
Do you have someone in mind who you want to be manager and who's a realistic candidate, or do you have someone maybe that no one's really thought of that you would want to get from, if they're at another club? Richard, do you have anyone that is screaming out to you?
I have two answers. Here's who I would like, and here's who I think they will go after. Who I would like is Abel Ferreira. Mm-hmm. I think it's a natural fit. He is Sergio Conceição without as many of the implosions on the sideline, who I think they might get because he might be available soon, and God help us if this happens. I might storm Alcochete myself. I fear for the day if they hire Fernando Santos.
No, John, no way. No,
I fear. That was an intrusive thought that came into my head.
Has he been laid off yet, or is he still employed?
I don't know.
He's still at Azerbaijan, I think. Yeah,
that was an intrusive thought.
If I'm not
it was
mistaken.
an intrusive thought that just briefly entered my mind for a fleeting moment, and I did what you did, Sam. I said, "Nah, there's no way." But then I went, "These are the same guys who hired José Peseiro. This is the same team that hired Silas as their fourth choice. I wouldn't put it past them necessarily.
I think I would unfortunately
there's a non-zero chance that they could just go Nando Ball and say fuck it. But my preferred choice is Abel Ferreira at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. Chris, what about you? Do you have a preferred candidate and a sort of an off out of the park candidate?
Off the board one.
I personally think jumping into the Portuguese league recycled manager carousel would be a truly embarrassing decision. Getting someone like Armando Evangelista, who just got laid off from Family Go, right? Someone like that, who's just a guy that makes the rounds at the mid-table clubs. It's if you're stooping to that level, you're like showing.
If you're getting guys who haven't held a job for more,
It's
than
like that's our level. Our level is like fifth
that's our
place
level
in the Portuguese league. Like, cool. That's pretty embarrassing that you think that that's our level. So I will be very dismayed if we replace João Pereira with some recycled guy like that who just probably is just nothing more than a placeholder who will guide us into absolutely nothing,
and then
with
they'll
just
be
the most, which is the most uninspired tactics you've ever seen, and will be gone in May. And it's like, okay,
that's 20 like 18 to like 20.
Yeah.
22,
So yeah, I think Abel Ferreira would be good. There are some managers that like I thought were interesting, like Sergio Conceição or some like a wild card like a Graham Potter, or like the manager of like Bodo Glint. But like, dude, no, why would any of those guys come here now?
Why would you come now?
Why would you make your move to Europe, like your bridge move into Europe, like to get to like the Prem or
La Liga,
a top 20 club in Europe? You come here and then you go there, right? If it works out, but it's like if you come here, it's not going to work out. So why the fuck would you do that? If I'm one of those guys, I don't take the job. I saw
this job's not attractive to them. It would have been attractive to them 3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah. I saw that that Conceição was linked to Nantes. It's like I honestly think that's probably a safer bet because it's a mid-table team in France. If you turn him around and get him up to like 7th, it's a great season.
He was there before as well, right?
He was there before.
Yeah.
If it kind of just hovers about the same and, you finish 12th instead, I mean, you just say,
whatever.
What are we supposed to do here, right? Coming into a mid-table club a half season. Like, what the fuck do you expect? A miracle? And then if you improve them a little bit, it's like, great. But no one really expects you to, like, be winning every game. And, like, I don't know. I just feel like it would be a move that would advance his career further than coming here right now, to be honest. And that's just Conceição. The other guys who, like, don't have ties to Portugal, if you're going to make the jump here, I imagine waiting until the least opportune time is not the move. I would argue that, like, I could easily see the Porto manager role opening up in the next 4 months.
Next couple weeks.
That might be a more appealing opening right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I'd say they're both, like, shadows of their former selves as far as, like, appeal that the job has, right? They're both jobs are.
Oh, have we lost Chris?
The FBI agent heard too much.
Damn, bro, my guy was, and you know what's the sad part? My guy was spitting. He was actually spitting some facts. That's the sad part. Bro was bar for bar, man. He was just in flow state. But yeah, like he's bang on. Like, this is not an attractive. You come in now. This is not the same attractive job. That he's back.
Yeah, I did. My window just crashed.
Yeah, we were saying, like, I was like, damn, he cut out, and like my guy was spitting.
That like never happens. Yeah.
But like I was just agreeing with your point. Like, yeah, like this isn't an attractive job right now. I don't think,
especially compared to like what it was just 3 months ago, bro. This is a hella
especially when it would have been even a month, not even a month ago.
Yeah, like not even a month, not even 3 months.
If they say, okay, Amorim's leaving, and you go and say, hey, Abel, hey, Guy, hey, what's your nuts? Like, whoever they would have gone after. And they could have even said, like, hey, we have an agreement, but like João Pereira, like you said last week or the week before, maybe 3 weeks ago, I don't even know, Sam, I'm sorry. If Abel was just the interim manager until they said, like, we're finding and like we're in the hunt.
Oh, if they came out and said he was the interim manager, yeah. I don't think people would have been. People would still be infuriated, but not.
But there would be But if it was like, well, we had to wait for like Brazilian season to end for Abel or like an Artur Jorge even to come in.
But they were like, this is the man.
No,
bro.
This is our guy. They were like, this is
him.
Our guy.
This is fucking him.
He's not him. He could be further from him.
No, he's not him.
He sucks.
You know what, Jamal? You could still become a great manager.
Just not right now.
Start lower, take the proper classes, And maybe
So,
one day, but bro, like, what the fuck?
Even Ruben Amorim was at like Casa Pia.
He won a trophy. He won a senior trophy. He won a senior trophy.
He won a trophy. He won games. We're gonna hire some dude named João Manuel. I hate to break to you, almost every Portuguese coach is named João Manuel, regardless. So that
we've already got João.
We've already got João. We've got Jabroni. We got Jabroni.
Bring in some other shitty João.
Like who do you go after? Abel would be my prefer. I could see them. I could see him play for Artur de Jorge, but I doubt he leaves. Botafogo. I think
if Abel had won the league. No, but because the season didn't end that great,
they didn't win anything,
and the season's over now. Like,
yeah,
maybe, right?
He might be. It might be. They might be thinking, right? And he's always
said
they'll
probably have to buy him out of Palmeiras. I mean, the whole operation would probably cost $10 million. I'm not gonna lie, including the first year of his salary, right?
You know what? Though?
We just got 10 million from
maybe less, maybe like
plus $1 million for each of his.
He's not going to be cheap.
Stuff.
You know
he's
what?
Not going to come cheap, and we're going to have to buy him out. So,
yeah. But you know what? Like anything's got to be better than what we have right now. Because
and then we're going to have to sign him with like a 4 or 5 year deal, and it's like, all right, well, it's not like it's just going to get better overnight. Like it's probably going to stay ugly for a little bit, but we just got to keep.
Who the fuck is Wilfreda? That's my question. Who the fuck is that guy?
Nah, it seems unlikely that they would just get some recycled Portuguese league hack, but like
it's
you never know, bro. You never know.
There's a non-zero chance.
You never know what desperation can bring you to do.
There's a non-zero chance of them being like Rui Vitória.
Maybe we'll buy out Silas.
There's
George Jesus for a third time.
He's won 3 straight games at União de Leiria. Silas is back.
There's a non-zero chance they're like, oh, David Simão.
Okay, Siri.
Yeah.
Like there's a there. That's the thing. The chances of that happening are getting 0. That's the problem. Like it's entirely within their own.
At this point, would you rather bring in some hack like that or just keep João Pereira?
I don't know because
you've got.
You probably have to.
That's like saying, That's like saying, do you want to jump off the bridge or jump off a building? How do you want to die?
At least you're hiring a coach who has experience. But do you guys remember
at the senior level, preferably?
Yeah,
maybe like 2 years ago.
I guess Liga 3 is seniors, but like,
stop
barely.
When we played,
there's one. You know what? There's one name I haven't thought of, but I don't think he'll ever come here. I think he's just stuck in his role for life now. It's Rui Jorge. I think he's just stuck in that under 21 role. Yeah. I think he's stuck in that U21 manager.
He got past
like two months in a year. He loves it.
Yeah, he got passed over.
True. He works probably. Yeah, he works probably 3 months out of the year. You're absolutely right, Sam. When you think about it.
He's scouting those other months.
He's busy scouting the talent, bro.
No, he gets the scouting reports from Jorge Mendes, and that's it. This guy in.
No, you have him confused with Roberto Martinez.
No, they probably both.
because then Rui Jorge calls up the guys that the under 23 guys that should have been going up to the Portuguese team already.
Yeah,
that's the problem. So, he's like, "Oh, you didn't call this guy? Sweet, I'll take that guy." That's exactly how that works out. Like, you mean you didn't call Florentino? Baller, I'll take him. Like, that's exactly what happens in those situations.
For me, do you remember 2 years ago we played Wolves in a preseason friendly? I think everyone said on the panel that was like, I have a feeling Bruno Lage is going to be the next manager when he leaves.
I remember we had this kind of this discussion last week where they were like, "Oh shit, is this going to be like our next coach?"
And now he's at Benfica, killing it at the moment. Fair enough, they drew today.
He's not that good of a manager.
No, he's fine. I don't think he's a bad manager.
He's doing better than Roger Schmidt did in the first 2 weeks of the season, 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I don't think Bruno Lage is a bad manager by any stretch. I just don't think he's like. I just don't think
it helps that his 2 main rivals are just worthless,
imploding.
Yeah,
I was hoping for Apollo Fonseca to get fired from AC Milan, but I don't think
not
that's
going to happen.
Not happening, and I think he's just out of our price range. And again, why would you?
Yeah, I mean, if the budget is 0, that does greatly limit your options.
Yeah, when your budget is no dollars, you're kind of limited in what you can choose.
I genuinely don't know what it is, but it feels like a Val is gonna be high. I don't know if it's too much. If our budget really is like $7 million for a manager.
You know what?
Right
You
now.
blew 10 mil on a coach once. Fucking do it again.
Facts.
Yeah, lightning strikes twice.
Now, do we have Twitter questions actually? And I can ask my question after.
I'll give you just my coach, then I'll go to Twitter questions. So obviously, FL and Sergio Conceição are like the main ones. But on a left field one, I've been saying this for at least 2 years.
Oh, no.
Give me Alvaro Pacheco, man. He was
you know what?
great.
He has a job right now.
I would
in Qatar.
If you're gonna take a recycled Portuguese league manager, I would
Saudi.
be okay with. I would actually be okay with an Alvaro Pacheco because he did a lot of fun stuff at was it Vizela and Guimarães. I wouldn't if you're gonna go for a recycled Portuguese Liga guy. That might be the only one where I'm like, you know what? Let's give him a chance.
Yeah, and for me, everyone says that we were, too harsh on the Ronaldo kit for marketing. Imagine how many hats they could sell. Sporting Peaky Blinders hats.
Sporting berets. Fuck yeah.
Exactly. And talk about marketing. Like that would sell out instantly.
Bro, they would make that as part of your retro line too. That shit would slap. That would kill. That's actually, you know what? That's a good shout from you. I want to give you compliments. That's not a horrible.
You almost sound surprised.
No, not surprised. I never even his name never occurred to me, and that's actually like a good solid name that I wouldn't necessarily be that upset with.
They currently are 13th in Saudi, so out of a league of 18. So
it's Saudi. It's not a real league.
No,
I don't care how much they try to tell me.
I'm looking at the players that he has. Kurt Zuma, I recognize. Christian Teo, I recognize.
It's
pretty
Saudi.
Much, that's it.
It's Saudi. I don't care what Ronaldo tries to tell me. It's not a real league.
It's okay. But there's a big fall off outside the top 5.
Yeah,
which is true in Portugal,
sure.
But I think that the Estoril is still like a professional side.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do have some Twitter questions. I'll share my screen quickly. Nuno Gabriel asks, was it a case of bad luck, refereeing errors, etc., or is it just incompetence by the manager, subs lack of charisma on the bench, or all of the above? I think we've all said it's all of the above.
It's all the above.
I think we can all agree the fault mainly falls on Frederico Varandas than any of the managers or players for making that move. I don't think João Pereira is I know obviously he doesn't have the charisma, but he was thrown in the deep end. So
doesn't have he's the man charisma forgot, I think.
That is so mean. But
good. It was intended to come across, and that was my intention.
But also as a player, he was aggressive. He was
it's a polar opposite, right? He was a shithead as a player, and now as a coach, it's bro, what happened to you?
He just needs to become a shithouse coach, and we'll be all right, I think.
Bro, you need to just tap in someone just tried to 2-foot you and just fucking go ballistic. What happened to you?
Yeah. Next question comes from SCP Azores, and he says, is Varandas' ego bigger than his love for the club? He's too stubborn to admit an awful decision. We're seeing some of the worst play in years. Gyökeres looks a shell of himself. The defense is looking suspect. The whole team looks just disjointed. Admit the error and move on. He follows up with, they might have enough talent to squeak out some wins over the next 3 fixtures. Varandas will gloat to the media how he was right all along, and then we'll get walloped by Benfica. That's my prediction. I blame no one but Varandas for having the foresight to see this. Spot on, I think.
Yeah,
100%.
I think that's honestly bang on from SCP Azores 24. I want to know where from the Azores you are. Follow up in the comments. Curious from my mom's ends of Lumba the Maya. Yeah, I think that's bang on. I think he's just he refuses to it. He's not going to want to admit that he got this one wrong.
Yeah,
and exactly. I think and this leads to what my question was going to be, which is, how long does he ride this out? And when's our next election?
I think the next election is in 2 years because he got re-elected in
2026.
Yeah, so because he got re-elected when he hired Slimani back as a part of his campaign.
If we enter banter era for the next year and a half, he might tank his election chances. I don't know if he runs again.
I don't know if he even.
He
You
might
think he
not.
might just say you might just think he's wiped his hands of this Julius Caesar style and says Pontius Pilate style and said what's done is done. I'm out.
For me, I think because if I'm him and I leave now, I'm the president who won 2 titles in 4 years. If you stay and get even worse, then your legacy gets worse as time goes on. If you just say, now, look, I've won these titles. I was one who found Ruben Amorim. I was one who found Gyökeres, blah, blah, blah. That's his legacy. And fair enough, not all of us are going to remember that way.
No, you're going to remember. You're going to remember the good and you're going to remember the bad. And there's right now, it's a lot of bad, unfortunately.
But in 20 years' time, what's going to be remembered? That he won the 2 titles. He found Ruben Amorim. We were competing.
I'm still going to remember Sealish Ball. I'm still going to remember. But you know what? I'll also remember Kaiser Ball.
But you also remember the 2 titles he gave you as well. It's sort of just that balance, isn't it? Of trying to find, 2 years being awful, 3 years being awful,
that's
3 years being
good. Is does he run again then if things continue to get bad, especially if in that time they go back to full banter era? Not saying they will. He can turn it around, but if he doesn't, does he run? And if he does run, does he get reelected, or do people say no? We need somebody different.
What the issue is, though, who runs? Nuno Sousa was fantastic.
You know what?
Did you? I actually saw João Benedito is attaching himself to a candidacy for president of FPF.
Oh, for the Dressel. I know that's coming.
I literally saw that this morning.
Interesting, because I know Figo was interested in that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So João Benedito would be out then if he's in the FPF role.
Mm-hmm.
Nuno Sousa was great, but I think he just didn't at the time. There was no chance he was.
It wasn't his time. You know what? I'm running for president. Richard Neves for president of Sporting.
After you literally just suggested Fernando Santos to manager, you're not getting any single vote.
Yes, you did. I said that's someone who I could see them absolutely going for. I would hate that decision. I cannot
rewrite history.
I never suggested. Don't put words in my mouth. Let me talk. I didn't suggest that. I said that's something I could see this fucking administration doing, and God help us if they do. I said if they did that, I would storm Alcochette. I believe was actually my words. I'll storm Alcochette myself. I'll show up with the freaking mask. I won't even go with mask. I want you to see my face. I want you to know who did this. No, I'll run for president. Fuck it, me.
But no, who does run? Because I don't think Nuno Sousa's going to run again.
Does Nuno Sousa money to run again? It's not free. Yeah, it's not cheap.
I could see Nuno Sousa running again.
I think if he thinks he has a chance, he'll run again. But if he thinks
January 6th,
storm. When was Alcochette? That's the date we need.
It was in May.
It was
May 14th or something like that.
14th, Alcochette 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's coming. You just wait. By the way, I'm not advocating for anybody to storm Alcochette. Please don't do that. It's a game at the end of the day. Don't take shit too seriously. If you're that upset about the game, go punch a wall or something. Don't storm the fucking academy like a lunatic. I'm not advocating for that. Because I feel like someone will see this and be like, this was my inspiration. And be like, oh fuck, we're cooked. You have to show up in some deposition.
If that does happen, you're the first suspect. They're gonna be like,
I'm suspect number one. I'm suspect number one. Oh Lord. That's why I wanted to put that disclaimer. I 100% do not condone you storming the academy. I think my exact words were when you did that Alcochette little mini doc on the channel that was so fucking stupid that anybody thought that was a good idea. Something along my words. And that was ridiculous that anybody could get that angry over a game.
Yeah, exactly. The Strompcast said to do this as someone throws a glass at your Chris.
As someone
Richard Neves
belt someone upside the head.
Yeah, we don't represent what Richard Neves thinks. That's just Richard.
Jesus. It's funny because this was almost the Richard Neves show. No, just kidding. That was almost our title.
But I have a conspiracy theory, and let me know what you think.
Well, we love a conspiracy theory in these parts, Chris and I. So we're intrigued.
Recently, there is someone who has begun tweeting again for the first time about Sporting in about 2 or 3 years.
I already know where this is going. I hate this.
I'm not suggesting anything.
No.
But don't you think the timing is awfully suspicious? As soon as Ruben Amorim it wasn't before Ruben Amorim. As soon as he goes, Bruno de Carvalho returns to Twitter and now is tweeting about Sporting, is getting involved with the YouTuber Gonzal and is retweeting things. It just seems like an awfully timed coincidence, if it is one. But also, he can use that to put pressure on Frederico Fernandes and the administration as well.
Oh no! Please.
No,
don't.
I'm not saying he should run or he's going to run, but you can't deny that it's weird timing.
Wait, who?
Bruno de Carvalho back tweeting about Sporting.
He's back.
I think his problem would be that he's not eligible to run.
Yeah, that would be problem.
I'm not saying for him to run. I'm saying to put pressure on.
I see.
The thing. I can kind of see where you're at, Sam, because there is still a part of the fan base that are die-hard Bruno de Carvalho fans, and they would ride or die with that guy still, whether it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. So I can kind of see where your mind's going with that. I think it might just be funny coincidence, but maybe there is some smoke to where the fire is. Who knows?
I just think, Sporting's worst season in a few years. Well, 2 years now. And then, Amorim leaves and it just seems all these things are lining up and then Bruno comes back. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe he just wanted to tweet. Fair enough. He's in his right to do so. But
maybe he wants to try to become an active socio at least again.
Yeah. Because they did say, right, if he was found guilty,
for example,
there's
so many examples of guys like that. Like just look at the Tribuna. In any game, every guy who's sitting there is just an influential socio for the most part. Some of them are like business guys or stuff like that. But even that, it's like they're business guys who are big shots in business that are active Sporting socios. So it's like, for the most part, it is guys like that. And like our next president is probably going to be one of those guys, right? So I mean, that's just kind of how it works. But I think that like Bruno de Carvalho's interest or because he really didn't talk about anything Sporting, but he has dabbled a couple times again. I mean, he would occasionally make it or like ask the question and he would say something and it would be a headline for a day or two over the past couple years, but nothing really. I wouldn't say he's like back either, but like he has talked about it multiple times now. So yeah, I mean, maybe I think that he might just be looking to regain relevancy in the Sporting universe again, perhaps. Because if we're being honest, the DJ thing seems like it's kind of falling apart, and his marriage is falling apart as well. So it's like,
oh, is it? I haven't kept up with that.
It's like,
yeah,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
he could be open to a new gig, or another new chapter, So, yeah,
you might be right. Yeah, you might be right on that regard. He's just looking to get his
will it
married
do anything? How will he be received?
I don't think he'd be received as well as he thinks he'd be received.
No, I don't think he would either. To be honest. Or like he wants to try to like be an influential advisor to like someone who he wants to endorse or something. I don't think it's him who's planning the big ideas, but I do think he is planning to try to become like a relevant person again.
I think he just wants to be relevant in that space again, probably.
I do wonder, like,
we'll see.
Like CMTV have these, journalists on there, former players on, whatever.
Or
I feel like that's right up his alley to be like an
analyst.
Like
RTP with like 3 of the pack or whatever. Like, yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't really pivoted to that yet.
Yeah.
So maybe that is like a next step, as he's like one of the regulars on Correo de Miña or something like that.
But the thing is, he's captivating himself that he could just, set up a mic and talk for an hour and put it on YouTube or whatever, and people would listen.
You know what?
People would agree.
Start a podcast.
We can have another member. We can have 5. So, if members open.
Yeah, but our shows would be like 3 hours long because like we wouldn't be able to get a fucking word in. He would just you'd ask him how he was doing, and he'd go, the first 20 minutes would be gone. It would be shot.
Filibustering.
Yeah, like that's the problem. Would it make for some entertaining stuff? I'm sure, but like it would derail every show. You'd ask him about one play and he'd talk about like Manifest Destiny or some shit. Like
we should get him for like one segment, like a time segment, like
Tigas on Sparkling 160 with like the modalidades, just rifles through stuff.
Facts. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was just a conspiracy theory I had.
That's a fun one.
Yeah,
that's one to keep. That's one we'll need to keep an eye on, though.
It just seems too quick from Amorim leaving and the team going on a downward trend, and then him coming up. And it could be a coincidence, to be fair, because it is
funny.
Whatever, it's boring. Get on Twitter, whatever. But yes, league predictions. Unfortunately for Chris, absolutely spot on.
You've won.
Got the loss. Got the score. Didn't get the goal scorer, unfortunately. Richard got 1 point for a loss. Me and Danny got none, but I actually put my predictions in. I mean, I was sort of correct with the scoreline, but
you're almost there.
Around. I did have Brugge in there originally, and then like 10 minutes before the game, I remembered he got injured. So I was like, you know what, swap for swap, Simoish can go in. Unfortunately, he didn't score either, or didn't really look close scoring anyway. But yeah, that is puts Chris on 34 points.
Claude back a couple points this week on me. Give him that.
The most annoying thing is, I don't think Danny has put a prediction in for like the last 4 weeks, and he's still ahead of me.
He's still ahead of you by a point.
Yeah, so I need to start predicting. And speaking of which, our next game is against Boa Vista, I believe, on Saturday or at 8:30. So, is it Saturday? I think so.
It's Saturday 3:30 local time here. So yeah, it's like an 8:30 start there.
Richard, give me your prediction for this game.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna. I can't lose again, which means they'll probably lose again. I'm gonna say 1-1.
Goal scorer?
Gyökeres from a penalty, probably.
Chris, what about your prediction for the game against Boa Vista?
2-1 Boa Vista.
Wow.
That's great. That's man.
Goal scorer. Harder. It's actually going to be 2-0, and that's going to pull them back.
That's gonna like give us hope
his 2-minute cameo.
Yeah.
It'll give us like a minute of hope.
I think you guys
a minute of hope that we can snag a point.
Yeah. Oh, we might pull a point back.
Great result.
Yeah, I think you guys being too negative. But we're still like 14th in the table. Only at 11 points.
Can I ask you a question? What have you seen in the last 3 weeks that should give us reason to be positive?
The first 20 minutes of Club Brugge.
Happy.
The first 20 minutes of Club Brugge. The first 10 minutes of the second half against Arsenal. That's about it, really. That's all I've seen. Oh, and a 5-0 win against League or whatever the score was.
A League of 3 team. It was like, stop.
But I'm looking at the table now. Boa Vista in 14th with 11 points. Goal difference of -8. Conceded 16.
So I think say that they're due.
I think this is time where, or if this is a result that everyone's like, we're back, and then it just, the papers over the cracks.
Down.
So I think we're going to come back with I'm going to go 4-1 win.
Oh, you are so optimistic. Oh, my.
Damn.
I think I've already regretted putting the numbers in.
I could feel it coming through the camera, honestly. Like, why have I made this prediction?
I'm going to go Gyökeres 1. I'll go Maxi another.
There's not many to choose from at this point. Just start throwing dudes for predictions. They're all hurt.
Trincao with 1.
All right.
Do I go for... I'm tempted to say own goal.
One of these days, own goal is going to hit, and it's going to be amazing.
And it's going to be this game. 4-1, Gyökeres, Maxi, Trincao.
You're going to feel so silly if we lose like 1-0 and it's an own goal. You're going to hate. You're going to like chuck your laptop across the room.
I also think for the last few times I've put Maxi in quite a lot of these predictions. So I'm hoping maybe he's just going to, if I keep putting him in, he'll score.
I mean that's a good shout because he feels like someone who could just randomly score on any given day. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then Danny will put it in later. But yeah, I guess that's it. The only thing I want to share once I actually get it up is some big news this week. Of course, it's not going to be on the screen. There we go. Unfortunately, a legend retires. Luis Nani retires from football.
I forgot about this. I almost missed this completely, actually.
The reason he gave, so after I watched the video, he said after his dad passed away, which I think was either last week or the week before, he just wanted to spend a bit more time with his family and his kids, which is respectable. Retires mid-season after, I think he scored 1 goal for Estrella in like 8 or 9 games. A fantastic career, obviously. Of course, definitely sporting legend, would you say, or is a legend maybe too high?
No, sporting legend. He had 3 stints at the club, won 2 or 3 tosses, a toss of the Liga. Like, yeah, I give him that. He's someone who's always beloved by the fans, was always spoke highly of the club. He even came out as well and said like when he came back the last time to Sporting, he had offers to go to like Benfica and Porto. He actually met with both clubs and said, no, like, my loyalty is with Sporting at the end of the day. Like I don't want to be one of those guys who goes the other side. So like, no,
as much as I love that story, why did he take the meeting if he was going to say no? Do you know what I mean?
No, Fernandes had a meeting with Porto. He had a meet. He spoke. He's like, Pinto Costa gave me a blank check during that meeting, and I still said no. So, like, he had a meeting too, and he's one of the more like big figures in the club's history. So,
Facts. 136 appearances over 3 seasons for Sporting, 31 goals, 27 assists, a European champion, a Champions League winner, multiple-time Premier League winner, won some tasses in Portugal as well, and a legend, I would say as well, 100%. Enjoy retirement. Any
favorite Nani memories specifically?
The goal, I think, against Gil Vicente, I want to say in 2013-14, I think it was.
Whatever the season he came back on loan, basically.
The half volley. No, actually, that's a lie. My favorite moment, I got to watch his return to the Alvalade the 3rd time. I got to watch it live against Setúbal and scored twice. So yeah, that was it again for me. We ended up, I think we won that game 3-2. What did we draw? We won it 3-2. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Or 2-1.
I'm trying to
my
think
memory fades.
A Nani moment. It's not necessarily a Nani moment, but it was really nice to see him when he came back on the 2nd stint on loan. That when they won the toss, to see him like hold the trophy again. Like, that was really cool because his last game for Sporting, the 1st stint was the Final de Taça, which they won before he transferred to United. So it was kind of like a nice, like, he came back and like you could see he was just so happy. And like that was the first trophy in like years for the club. And it was nice to see like he was one of the guys that helped them get it. Jesus, Dad, my dad just sneezed. I don't know if you heard that. That was a nice moment, I thought. So I'll give it to that.
I think as well, he was still, maybe not prime Nani, but he was still a very, very good player. The two years after he went and won, he was the top goal scorer for Portugal in the Euros. So like he was still,
he was a key player in that tournament.
Yeah, so he was still very good. Even in 2018 or 2018-19 when he was forced out of Sporting, he was the 2nd best player behind Bruno Fernandes by far.
And he left just because he got like a better offer from Orlando in the MLS. Really, like.
I think Varandas Jugoviana said, look, you're on high wages. Can you go? And he was like, yeah, whatever.
And he was like, I'm going to get paid more in Orlando anyways. Like, yeah. Or I'll get paid at least the same. And it's Florida. Sure. Yeah. It was kind of like a mutual thing, it felt like.
Yeah. Chris, do you have a favorite in any moment? The badge upside down on his shirt and the
it's tough to say. The absolute fucking banger that he scored against like Maribor maybe in
I forgot about that goal.
And then he started crying. That one was a pretty good one. I remember that. I remember the first time he did like in 2007 when he burst on the scene and did like the aerial backflips. I was like, yo, that's crazy. And my sister actually was a long time gymnast her whole life. So she would tell me like the backwards flip that he would do without any hands and twist. It was like an insanely high level of difficulty. Like
it's you need to be
higher level of difficulty than just like a flip or other things. You know, like the round off into the backflip. Like not easy, but like what he would do was like a gymnast would be like, yo, that's not easy. That's like above average. Like
that's
flipping.
like crazy. Yeah, that's like crazy.
Like I can't believe they're not like letting him do that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, I always, that always kind of stood out to me as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a fun one. I like that.
Yeah. I think that's
something kind of positive to end the show on today.
Yeah. I think that's it for
Handball lost their first game of the season.
Oh, did they finally lose?
They lost their first league game to
Damn.
Benfica.
That hurts.
But then they won today. So I think they're 16-1 in the league.
Damn.
But yeah, they lost.
Cool. So I think that's it for today.
I mean, basketball won. Yeah. Ladies won for the cup. They beat a second division team like 10-0. Hockey won.
Yeah. Futsal? Any updates on futsal?
I don't think futsal played.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I don't think futsal played. So yeah, I think those are the only results to report.
Still no update on the chess team, I see.
No, I didn't see anything on chess.
Yeah, crazy.
You can't play in the weather in these conditions.
Man. And Sporting lost midweek for Champions League in handball. But they're still in third.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're still like in qualifications.
But they're clinched, right? It's just to see if they go to the round of 16 or the round of 32. You know,
it's to determine their seeding, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're through in the Champions League. I would say that's then the main accomplishment.
Youth League boys did win this week.
Oh yeah, Youth League won.
They're qualified, I think.
They're qualified as well. Yeah, they're qualified. So. Yeah, I think they're in second in the table overall.
Yeah, they've been playing really well in UEFA Youth League. So let's keep that going.
Yeah, definitely. But that is it for today. Hopefully next week we're back when we win a game. And maybe it will be a bit more.
We have to come back and there's another loss. Like, I swear to God.
Will João Pereira be the manager at the next pod?
Over under.
Next Wednesday, I'd assume we'll probably
next Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh,
at this point, it's like if he wins, he's just saving and like
if he wins, he absolutely. If he loses, probably.
If he wins, do we have him until May?
If we lose.
Actually, we play Santa Clara for the Taça de Portugal on the 18th, I think. What day is that?
Thursday, I believe.
So maybe we'll be
back. What time is that game?
Oh, I don't have that game on my calendar.
8:45.
Okay, so it'll be like 3 something here.
I guess I missed that.
Yeah, so maybe
we could even do an immediate post game from Santa Clara.
Wednesday, December 18th.
It's Wednesday, December. It's Wednesday, so yeah, we could do a Wednesday post game or even Thursday. Then
is that next week?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit.
December's December.
Maybe we could do after that game, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. We'll put it on our Twitter.
Yeah, we'll tell you guys for sure.
Should we quickly predict that game as well?
Yeah.
You know what? Why not? Pull it up.
Go on, and see. I've still got it open.
These are one of our biggest rivals. You know.
This is This is to definitely save his job because they'd still be in contention.
Yeah, it'll be a trophy. He can hang his hat on a trophy, you know.
Yeah. With that being said, I think they're going to lose 2-1 to Santa Clara.
I think that's a good team, man.
Santa Clara is really good. I think they're going to lose 2-1, and I think it'll be fucking Jokeres gets a goal just to say screw you guys. It's me and friends. It wouldn't shock me if they lost that game. They've already lost them once. They're a good team. They're in 4th.
Yeah, and it's away, I think.
No, it's at home.
Home?
It's at home.
It's at home.
Cool.
Oh, if it was away, I'd be predicting like 3-1 Santa Clara. They'd get demolished by that Azorian rain.
Go on, Chris. What about you?
1-1. Santa Clara advances after penalties.
Oh,
I was going to say the same. Cool. Scorer for Sporting.
Scorer for Sporting, Jokeres.
Ooh, okay.
Because he's gonna start, you know.
Oh, he's gonna.
There's no more games to be played at this point, you know.
Like at this point, you're basically like, if I can at least get them deep in a cup, that could save some stuff.
And he's got the Final Four and final of Allianz Cup in like mid January if he can make it that far.
If they make the final, yeah.
Yeah,
he'll get a semi, right? Well, they'll play a semi.
He gets a semifinal. He gets a
that's a pretty good chance to win the trophy too, if he can make it to that start date, you know.
Yeah. I was going with penalties as well, but I feel like you know what? I'm gonna
go for it. You care? Go for it.
2-1 after extra time, an extra time winner.
That's what I was gonna go.
Yeah, I'll give you the points after extra time if you get it. Then yeah.
I think we're gonna lose in extra time. We're gonna go like ultra attacking and then get caught on the counter attack or something like that.
They're gonna get caught. You know what? It's gonna happen. They're gonna come on a counter attack and they'll score off of like a corner or something.
And I'm gonna go for Jenny as the goal scorer, just to be a bit different.
Okay, be a little different. All right, and Danny will obviously fill his in if he even remembers.
We'll remind him in the chat.
Yeah.
If somehow like you still are behind Danny after these next 2 games and he hasn't predicted.
It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be.
I'll have to retire.
Don't even bother.
I'll resign like João Pereira should do.
He's not resigning though. So.
He's not. It's gonna. He's not.
You want to drag his corpse out of there, bro.
I feel like
he probably wants to be fired. He gets money if he gets fired. He doesn't get money.
He gets severance pay if he gets fired. Yeah, I feel like it's that episode of The Simpsons when when he's beating the crap out of someone and the kid's just like, "Stop it! He's already dead." But that's what this feels like, man.
Yeah, it's just a game of chicken. Resign or fire. Resign or fire. Who's gonna blink first? Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. That is it for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure you follow Richard there.
How many people were here today?
Follow Danny, who wasn't here today. Follow him there. Follow Chris there. You can follow myself there. But most importantly, make sure you follow all things Alvalade on all social media platforms. We'll see you next time. Peace.